The concept of the end of the world has intrigued humanity for centuries, serving as both a source of fear and hope. From ancient scriptures to modern interpretations, the idea of a final reckoning has shaped cultures, ideologies, and faiths. Many of us have heard stories of the apocalypse, but often with little understanding of their true origins and meanings. In the Bible, the end times are described in vivid detail, offering a profound reflection on human existence, purpose, and the nature of divine justice. Throughout history, prophets and spiritual leaders have offered varying interpretations of the end times. Yet, the question remains, what do the scriptures truly reveal about the end of days? How can these ancient words offer guidance in our contemporary world, filled with uncertainty and fear? This exploration aims to answer those questions by delving into biblical prophecies, unpacking their imagery, and considering their relevance in modern-day society. In doing so, we will uncover how the promises and warnings within these prophecies offer not just a glimpse of the future, but valuable lessons for living faithfully in the present. The unknown has always captured human imagination, and the end of the world is the ultimate unknown. From apocalyptic films to religious teachings, the end times continue to provoke deep questions about our existence. Why is it that the idea of a cataclysmic event holds such allure? Is it merely a way to confront our fear of death, or is it something more? Throughout history, different cultures have developed their own interpretations of the apocalypse, often shaped by their understanding of the divine and the nature of human suffering. From the ancient Greeks and Romans to modern-day religions, the idea of an ultimate end brings both dread and hope. It can be seen as a time of punishment for sin or a moment of divine redemption. In Christian theology, the apocalypse is not just about destruction, but also the hope for a new beginning, where God's justice is ultimately revealed. As we explore the biblical prophecies about the end times, it is essential to understand that these prophecies serve as both a warning and an invitation. They challenge humanity to reflect on its moral direction and relationship with the divine. The impending end of days serves as a stark reminder that life has meaning, purpose, and above all, a higher power that is watching over us. One of the most well-known biblical texts regarding the end of the world is the book of Revelation. This final book of the Bible, attributed to the Apostle John, paints a dramatic and often unsettling picture of the end times. Filled with vivid imagery, symbolism, and apocalyptic visions, Revelation describes a period of immense tribulation, known as the Great Tribulation, that will affect the world. The Great Tribulation is depicted as a time of unprecedented suffering. Revelation speaks of wars, famines, natural disasters, and persecution. The text describes the unleashing of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, who bring war, conquest, famine, and death to the earth. These powerful images convey the depth of suffering humanity will endure during this period. However, Revelation does not merely present a picture of despair. It also contains promises of hope. Amidst the chaos, there is a vision of God's ultimate victory, where Christ returns to defeat evil and establish his eternal kingdom. This period of hardship serves as a test of faith and endurance. For believers, the Great Tribulation is a reminder that the path of righteousness is not always easy, but that it ultimately leads to divine reward. The trials described in Revelation are not just about physical suffering, but also spiritual testing. They ask the question, will humanity remain faithful in the face of immense challenges? This section explores how the Great Tribulation serves as both a warning and a call to spiritual vigilance. Perhaps one of the most anticipated events in Christianity is the second coming of Jesus Christ. This moment is described in various parts of the Bible, particularly in the New Testament, as the culmination of God's plan for humanity. The second coming is a time when Christ will return to earth to bring about divine judgment and restore order. This event represents the ultimate victory of good over evil, as Christ will triumph over the forces of darkness that have plagued the earth. The Bible speaks of Christ coming with great power and glory, riding on a white horse, and leading the heavenly army in battle against the forces of evil. It is a moment of reckoning, where every person will be judged according to their deeds, and those who have been faithful will be rewarded with eternal life. The significance of the second coming extends beyond a single event in time. It reflects the overarching theme of redemption and justice that is present throughout the Bible. Jesus' return signifies the fulfillment of God's promises to his people, a promise of justice, peace, and eternal communion with him. The second coming is not only a future event, but also a call to action in the present. It encourages believers to live in readiness and to embody the values of faith, hope, and love in their daily lives. After the Great Tribulation and the second coming of Christ, the Bible speaks of a period known as the millennium, an era of 1,000 years of peace and prosperity. During this time, Christ will reign as king, and there will be peace and justice throughout the earth. The millennium symbolizes the restoration of God's kingdom and the fulfillment of his promises to humanity. This period is described in Revelation 20, where it is stated that Satan will be bound and unable to deceive the nations. The righteous will live in harmony, free from suffering, sin, and death. It is a time when God's will is perfectly fulfilled, and humanity enjoys the fruits of divine rule. The millennium serves as a hopeful vision for believers. It represents the culmination of God's redemptive plan and the ultimate restoration of all things. For those living in the end times, it provides a vision of what will come after the trials and tribulations. It is a reminder that God is in control, and that even in the darkest moments, his promises will be fulfilled. To truly understand biblical prophecies, it is essential to consider the context in which they were written. The Bible contains different literary genres, including history, poetry, prophecy, and apocalyptic literature. Each genre has its own rules of interpretation, and understanding these nuances is key to interpreting prophecies correctly. Throughout history, theologians have debated the meaning of the prophecies in Revelation and other books of the Bible. Some interpret these prophecies literally, believing that the events described will unfold exactly as written. Others view them more symbolically, suggesting that the imagery represents deeper spiritual truths or moral lessons. The cultural, historical, and literary context of these prophecies also plays a crucial role in understanding their meaning. The biblical writers were addressing specific communities at specific points in time. Understanding their circumstances helps us to better interpret the messages they were conveying. This section will delve into the different approaches to biblical interpretation, offering insights into how these ancient texts can be understood in modern times. While the biblical prophecies were written thousands of years ago, they remain profoundly relevant today. In a world filled with conflict, natural disasters, and moral dilemmas, the lessons of the end times resonate with modern concerns. How can we apply the wisdom of these prophecies to our lives? The Bible encourages us to live with purpose and integrity, to seek justice, and to remain faithful to God even in the face of adversity. These teachings are just as vital today as they were in ancient times. Whether addressing issues of environmental degradation, social inequality, or personal faith, the Bible offers timeless wisdom for navigating the complexities of the modern world. This section explores how the lessons of the end times can be applied to contemporary challenges. It emphasizes the importance of living according to biblical principles, embracing compassion, and persevering in faith. In conclusion, the biblical prophecies about the end times are not merely about predicting the future, they are about shaping how we live today. The messages of hope, justice, and redemption are as relevant now as ever. As we reflect on these prophecies, we are reminded to live lives of faith, to persevere through trials, and to trust in the ultimate victory of good over evil. The end times, as described in the Bible, offer a profound invitation to reflect on our lives, our values, and our relationship with God. They challenge us to live with purpose, to confront the evils of our world, and to remain hopeful in the face of adversity. Through these teachings, we find the strength to endure and the promise of eternal life. Let us move forward with faith, knowing that the hope of the end times is not just a future event, but a present reality that shapes our lives and our actions. By living according to God's will, we can bring about a world of justice, peace, and love, in preparation for the ultimate fulfillment of His promises. Thank you for joining us on this journey through biblical prophecies. May their timeless wisdom guide and inspire you.